Switzerland produces more than 450 different types of cheese, but only a small number carry the official AOP label, Appellation d'origine protégée. This label guarantees authenticity. It means the cheese is made in a specific region using traditional methods with strict rules that protect its origin and quality. Today, we're discovering Switzerland through 7 of its most iconic cheeses. Each one tells a different story of landscape, of craftsmanship, and of a country where cheese is not just food, but identity. We begin in the Canton de Fribourg with one of the most celebrated cheeses in the world, le Gruyère AOP. Made from raw cow's milk, le Gruyere AOP is produced in small village dairies known as fromageries. The milk must come from cows fed mainly on natural grass and hay. Silage is strictly forbidden. After production, the wheels are aged for a minimum of 5 months, but the best versions mature for 12 months or longer. During this time, the cheese develops a dense, smooth texture and a complex flavor profile, nutty, slightly fruity, with increasing depth and intensity as it ages. Unlike many Swiss cheeses, Gruyère has no holes. Its character comes entirely from time, care, and the unique conditions of its aging cellars. This is a cheese that represents precision, and it has repeatedly been recognized among the best cheeses in the world. From there, we move to the Emmentaler Valley, home of one of the most recognizable cheeses on earth, Emmentaler AOP. Known for its large round holes, often called eyes, Emmentaler AOP is produced in large wheels that can weigh up to 120 kilograms. These holes are created during fermentation. Natural bacteria break down lactic acid and release carbon dioxide gas, which forms the iconic openings inside the cheese. But beyond its appearance, Emmentaler is a highly controlled product. The milk is raw, the production is strictly regulated, and the aging process determines the final flavor. Young Emmentaler is mild and slightly sweet, but as it matures, it develops a more pronounced, nutty, and aromatic profile. It is one of Switzerland's most exported cheeses and one of its most important cultural symbols. Next, we enter the region of Appenzeller, where tradition meets secrecy. Appenzeller AOP. While not officially AOP, Appenzeller is one of Switzerland's most distinctive protected cheeses. Its uniqueness lies in its treatment during aging. The cheese is regularly washed with an herbal brine. The exact composition of this mixture is a closely guarded secret. Only a few people know the full recipe. This process creates a moist aromatic rind and gives the cheese its powerful flavor. Appenzeller ranges from mildly spicy to intensely strong, depending on how long it is aged. It is bold, complex, and unmistakable. A perfect example of how Swiss cheese can combine tradition with mystery. Now we move from production to experience, to one of the most iconic dishes in Switzerland, Raclette du Valais AOP. This cheese originates from the canton of Valais, and unlike many others, its identity is closely tied to how it is eaten. Traditionally, a half wheel of raclette is heated until the surface begins to melt. The melted layer is then scraped onto potatoes, served with pickles and onions. The word raclette itself comes from the French verb racler, to scrape. Raclette du Valais AOP is made from raw milk and aged for at least 3 to 4 months. It has a creamy texture when melted and a rich, slightly tangy flavor. But more than that, it represents togetherness, a meal built around sharing, around warmth, and around time spent together.
Next, we discover one of the most visually unique cheeses in the world, Tete de Moine AOP. Originating from the Jura region, this cheese has been made since the Middle Ages. Its name means monk's head, a reference to the monks who originally produced it. But what makes Tete de Moine truly special is how it is served. Instead of cutting it, the cheese is shaved into thin rosettes, using a tool called a girole. This technique increases the surface area of the cheese, which enhances both aroma and flavor. The result is a delicate, almost creamy texture, despite being a semi-hard cheese. It's a perfect balance between tradition and presentation, and one of the most elegant ways to enjoy cheese. Now we return to Freiburg, to one of the essential cheeses of Swiss cuisine, Vacherin Fribourgeois AOP. This is a semi-soft cheese with a creamy texture and a slightly tangy rustic flavor. It is one of the key ingredients in traditional Swiss fondue. Often combined with Gruyère AOP, it creates a smooth, rich, and perfectly balanced melted cheese. Vacherin Fribourgeois is made from raw milk and aged for a minimum of 9 weeks. Depending on its maturation, it can range from mild and lactic to more intense and aromatic. It reflects the comfort side of Swiss cheese, warm, inviting, and deeply rooted in tradition. Finally, we arrive at one of Switzerland's oldest cheeses, Sbrinz AOP. This is an extra-hard cheese produced mainly in central Switzerland. Sbrinz is aged for a minimum of 18 months, but often much longer, up to 3 years or more. During this time, it becomes extremely dense and develops a high concentration of flavor. The texture is dry and granular, with visible crystals that form naturally during aging. Sbrinz is not sliced, it is broken into shards. Each piece delivers an intense, savory, slightly salty taste. Often compared to Parmigiano Reggiano, Sbrinz has its own distinct identity, stronger, sharper, and unmistakably Swiss. From smooth and creamy to bold and powerful, Swiss cheese is a journey through regions, through climates, and through centuries of craftsmanship. Each cheese carries the mark of its origin, its milk, its people, and its traditions. So the next time you see Swiss cheese, look beyond the surface, because behind every wheel there is a story of the Alps, of time, and of a country that has turned cheese into an art form. Which one would you try first?